They say everything happens for a reason, right? But when you're screwed, when life hits you with one blow after another, it's hard to believe it. You get up and you fall. You get up and you fall again, until there comes a point where you don't even know if it's worth trying anymore. And the worst thing isn't the physical pain. No, the worst thing is that emptiness inside, that feeling that no matter what you do, nothing changes, nothing gets better. You look at yourself in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself. That dull look, that smile that no longer comes out. And you ask yourself at what moment you got lost, when you stopped being you. People tell you to be patient, that everything will work itself out, that you should think positive, but they don't have a fucking idea of what you're carrying inside. They haven't felt that weight in your chest, that voice in your head repeating, "That's it, man, you can't go on anymore." And of course you can, but you don't know it yet, because the problem isn't falling. The problem is staying there, on the ground, watching time pass while you break inside. Nobody teaches you how to get up when everything hurts, when nobody believes in you. But I'll tell you something, you don't need them to believe in you. You need to believe yourself, even if it's just a little. Even if you're afraid, even if you're broken, even if you don't have the strength. Look, life isn't fair. Sometimes it takes away things you loved. It breaks you for no reason. It leaves you alone, and you think that's it, that it's over. But that's where everything begins. Because when you hit rock bottom, when you have nothing left to lose, that's where your true version comes out. That's where those who talk are separated from those who act. It doesn't matter how many times you screw up, how many times you're betrayed, how many times your soul is broken. What matters is what you do next. Because every blow is teaching you something, even if you can't see it now. Every person who failed you is pushing you toward who you truly have to become. And yes, it will hurt. But it hurts more to give up. Man, it hurts more to sit there watching life move on without you. So get up. Not because you feel like it, but because you have no other choice. Do it for yourself, for who you were, for who you will be. Do it for all those nights when you cried without anyone knowing. Do it for every time they told you that you couldn't. Because when life puts you on your knees, it's not for you to surrender. It's for you to gain momentum. And I know that right now you feel lost, that you don't see a way out. But I promise you this moment does not define you. What defines you is what you do next. So breathe, get up and keep walking, even if it's slow. Because every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your rebirth. There comes a point in life when you get fed up. Fed up with waiting, with hoping things will change, with believing someone will come to save you. And that day, without realizing it, something inside you breaks. But not to destroy you, to wake you up. Because only when you're sick and tired of the pain do you understand that nobody is going to do it for you. And that's where the war begins. Not against the world, but against yourself. Against your fears, your excuses, your laziness, your shitty thoughts. That voice telling you that you can't, that it's not worth it, that you should leave it for tomorrow. Well, no, not today. Today you get up, even if your legs are shaking. Today you face it, even if you're afraid. Today you decide that you're no longer going to be the victim of your own story. Because look, life owes you nothing. It's not going to give you success, love, or peace. You have to earn it. And sometimes you'll have to do it alone, in silence, while everyone doubts you. And that sucks, I know. But it also makes you dangerous. Because when you learn to move alone, when you get used to losing and still keep going, you become unstoppable. People don't understand that. They think being strong means not crying, not showing weakness. But being strong means moving forward while you're falling apart inside. It means getting up when you have no reason, when everything is against you. Being strong and having everything under control. It's accepting that you're broken and still fighting. And no, It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about looking your chaos in the face and saying, "You're not going to beat me." It's about accepting pain as part of the process, letting it teach you what victories cannot. Because without pain, there is no growth. And without losing yourself, you will never find yourself. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop expecting things to be easy. Great things are not achieved without sacrifice. You will have to leave behind people, places, habits, even parts of yourself. You will have to lose to win. And it hurts. Yes, but it's necessary. Every day you get up to fight, even when you don't feel like it. You're winning. Every day you don't give up, even if nobody sees it. You're moving forward. You're not doing it for likes or recognition. You're doing it because you've already seen what happens when you give up, and you don't want to go back there. So keep going. Man, keep going even if it hurts. Even if you feel alone. Keep going even if the road seems endless. Because the day will come when you'll look back and say, "Damn, it was worth it." And you'll feel proud. Not because you arrived, but because you didn't give up when everything told you to. This isn't about luck. It's about consistency. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. And it's not about others believing in you. It's about you not stopping. Because in the end, when the lights go out and you're alone with yourself, the only question that matters is, did you keep fighting or did you give up? And one day it happens. You don't know how or when, but it happens. You wake up, look around, and it doesn't hurt the same anymore. Not because everything magically fixed itself, but because you changed. You're no longer the same person who started this war. You learned to be alone, to trust yourself, to not depend on anyone to get back up. You've been through so much that now you know you can handle anything. You start to understand that life wasn't unfair. It was necessary. That every blow, every loss, every night when you thought about giving up had a purpose. They weren't destroying you. They were shaping you. They were preparing you for this moment. Now you know that strength doesn't come from success. It comes from suffering. That the real victory in reaching the top, but not giving up when you were at the bottom. You've learned that silence teaches more than 1,000 pieces of advice. That pain changes you, but it also cleans you, focuses you, makes you real. And now, when you see others who are broken, you don't judge them, because you know what it's like to be there, with your soul in pieces. You know what it's like to pretend you're fine while screaming inside. That's why now you speak differently, look differently, walk differently. You have scars? Yes, but you also have a story. People will see your achievements, your smiles, your calm, but they will never understand everything it cost you to get there. They will never know the times you cried in silence, the sleepless nights, the days you thought you wouldn't get out of that shit. And that's fine, because you know it. And that's enough. Because you no longer need to prove anything. You no longer look for approval, validation, or applause. It's enough to know that you gave everything, that you didn't give up, that you were about to break, but you kept going, that when you couldn't anymore, you did it anyway. Look, life will keep testing you. There will always be bad days, disappointments, fears, but now you know how to face them. Now you know you can fall, but not stay down. Because you've done it before, and you'll do it as many times as necessary. So every time you feel like you can't anymore, remember this: you've already been there, you've already hit rock bottom, and you survived, and that makes you someone who doesn't give up, who doesn't break, who doesn't forget who they are. Sometimes the greatest success isn't winning, it's not giving up, it's looking back and being able to say, "I went through hell, but I'm still here." And that, man, that is worth more than any trophy, any fame, or any recognition. Because in the end, life isn't about not falling. It's about having the guts to get up one more time. And if today you're listening to this and you feel like you can't anymore, remember, yes, You can. You always could. Sometimes you just forget. So lift your head, grit your teeth, and keep walking. Not because it's easy, but because you deserve it. Because everything you've been through wasn't for you to give up now. It was for you to learn to become indestructible. And you are. Even if you don't see it yet. Even if you still doubt. Even if you still fall. Even if you're still bleeding inside. You are stronger than you imagine. And one day, when you look back, you'll understand everything. You'll smile. And you'll say to yourself, "Damn, I made it." You thought that when you got out of the hole everything would be easy, right? That after so much pain, life would give you a break. Well, no. The world doesn't change because you have changed. People are still the same, problems are still there, and you still have shitty days. The difference is that now you don't run away. You don't hide anymore. You don't cry in silence waiting for something or someone to come save you. Now you face everything head on. And that, my friend, is power. Because when you stop being afraid of pain, you become free. And when you are free, there is nothing that can beat you. But I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. It's hard to stay firm when everything seems against you. It's hard not to go back to old habits, to people who hurt you, to thoughts that knocked you down. The past has that habit of whispering in your ear just when you're doing better. It tells you, "Come back. You're comfortable here." And that's where you prove whether you really changed or if you just took a break from hell. Because growth is not a straight line. It's a constant war. Some battles you win, others you lose. But what matters is not stopping the fight. Because when you go backward, when you fall again, you don't start from zero. You start from experience. And that makes all the difference. There are days when you wake up and think all this effort isn't worth it. That no matter what you do, the world keeps spinning without you. And maybe you're right. But you're not doing it for the world. You're doing it for yourself. Because you already tried giving up. And you didn't like it? You've already been at the bottom. And you know exactly what's down there. Nothing. Silence, guilt, emptiness. And you're not going back. So keep going. Even if you don't see results. Even if nobody congratulates you. Even if you feel like you're walking alone. Because while you're building yourself, the rest are waiting for miracles. And you already know miracles don't exist. Only work exists, consistency, and the determination not to be the same person you used to be. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to run around telling your achievements or your wounds. People wouldn't understand it, and they don't need to. Your victory is silent, and your process too. Because while others talk, you act, and while they sleep, you move forward. So even if you stumble again, don't punish yourself. Because stumbling is not failing. Failing is giving up. And you, after everything you've been through, no longer know what giving up is. You've learned to get up with your face full of mud, your hands shaking, but your heart on fire. And that, brother, no one can take away from you. And now you're here. Not where you wanted, maybe, but much farther than where you started. And if you look back, you realize that everything that hurt you brought you to this point. Every sleepless night, every tear, every "I can't take it anymore" pushed you to discover what you're made of. Because life didn't give you anything. It took everything away so you could learn to build it from scratch. And you did it. Without a manual, without help, without applause. You did it through blows, scars, and continuing when there was no strength left. And now look at yourself. You might not see it, but you're no longer the same. You've changed. You've become stronger, wiser, more real. People think being strong means not feeling, not showing pain. But you know that's not true. Being strong means feeling everything and still keeping on walking. It means crying at night and getting up in the morning with the same hunger as always. Being strong means knowing fear is still there, but not letting it paralyze you. You learn to trust yourself, even when no one else did. You learn that respect isn't demanded. It's earned, and that self-love is spoken. It's proven every day when you choose not to return to what broke you. You learn that endings are not failures, they are beginnings in disguise, and that losing is also moving forward if you do it without giving up. Now you understand. don't you? Pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to show you who you were when you had nothing left. It came to remove your mask, to show you your rawest, realest version. And even though it was fucking crazy, even though there were days when you didn't know if you'd hold on, you did. And that makes you invincible, because now you know you can handle anything. That if you survived your own thoughts, your own doubts, there's nothing out there that can beat you. People won't understand it, and that's fine. You don't need them to understand. You need to remember it every time you feel yourself weakening. Remember that you were already in hell, and you walked out. Remember that everything you have now you earned with blood, with tears, with sleepless nights, and no one can take that away from you. So when you're afraid again, when people fail you, when life hits you again, don't complain, smile, because now you know the game. You know that everything that looks like a fall is actually a test, and you already passed the hardest ones. You're not perfect, and you don't need to be. You're human, but you're a human with scars that tell stories, with mistakes that turned into lessons, with defeats that transformed into strength. And that, my friend, is worth gold. So keep going. Don't stop. Don't doubt. Don't look back, because your story doesn't end here. It ends when you say it does. And if you've proven anything, it's that you decide when to give up. And you already decided? Never, because when you couldn't anymore, you kept going. And that, brother, makes you a legend. Subscribe, like, and share. You already heard what you needed to hear. Now it's time to act. Don't wait for others to do it for you. Take the first step.